Hello, my loves, it's Glenda. United States history is complicated and difficult to understand, especially when you're missing part of the story. You probably never heard of the Red Summer, a time of violence in the United States that started February 8, 1919 and ended November 13, 1919, with over 40 acts of violence by the YT community on the black community. This is part 3 of a 14-part series, with the 14th being a summary of 20 other attacks of the Red Summer. This is the story of Red Summer in Charleston, South Carolina. May 10th, 1919, 5 YT sailors on weekend liberty were at King and George Streets in the black section of downtown Charleston, South Carolina. The soldiers claimed to have given money to a black bootlegger for a quart of whiskey, but he, the bootlegger, never came back. The men were outside of a pool hall owned by Harry Police, a black man. "We're looking for a damn N-word whom we gave our $8 to get us some bug juice," shouted one of the sailors. The group started a scuffle and several black men and someone fired a gun. Armed with blunt objects, the sailors entered the pool hall and attacked the patrons. The YT sailors pew-pewed and unalived Isaac Doctor, a black man. Word spread quickly about the pew-pewing and the street brawl. When word reached the Charleston Naval Yard, carloads of YT sailors poured into the black district. Within an hour, a riot started with over 1,000 YT sailors and many civilians joining the mob. Sailors broke into a shooting gallery and stole long pew-pewers and projectiles. Rioters, not finding many targets on the street, broke into the homes of black citizens, smashing doors and windows and furniture. As they roamed the streets, sailors were shouting, "Get an N-word!" Augustus Bonaparte, a black man, was getting a haircut when he saw the sailors raiding the shooting gallery. They jumped Augustus, beating him with clubs and sticks. They finally left him on the ground. The rioters pulled a black man off a trolley and beat and pew-pewed him. William Randall, a black hack driver, was left unconscious in the street. The sailors drove his taxi around downtown. William Randall was beaten so severely, he was unalived 2 weeks later. Cyril Burton, a black bricklayer, was out walking when a group of rioting sailors grabbed him and beat him with a variety of blunt objects, including hammers and pipes. "I was covered with blood and so severely injured, I was immediately taken to the hospital," he told the Navy. Military officers set up a command center at police headquarters. An hour after the first brawl, Marines were ordered to the city. Police and Marines worked together to take control of the city intersections and disperse the crowds. Chief Joseph Black risked his life to arrest 2 YT sailors, Jacob Cohan and Frank Holliday, for the unaliving of Isaac Doctor. Chief Black seized 2 .22 caliber long pew-pewers from Cohen and Holliday. Sailors followed, threatening the chief and demanding he free Cohen and Holliday. On the way to the station, the men confessed to unaliving Isaac Doctor. Chief Black confiscated 3 long pew-pewers and several hand pew-pewers, as well as his 2 prisoners. Another sailor, Roscoe Coleman, turned himself in, begging to be taken into custody. He said he had been involved in the pew-pewing and the walls of the police station looked better to him than the mob outside. Guards at the police station reported a carload of blacks fired at them. Police and Marines worked together to take control of the city and disperse the crowds. The Marines were able to intervene as a YT mob caught a black man with a pew-pewer and was about to unalive him. A mob chased the black man in the Freedy's Central Shaving Parlor. Although it catered to YTs, the barbershop was black-owned. The black man turned out the lights as he ran in and was able to escape out the back. The mob destroyed the barbershop. While the Marines did begin to restore calm, they didn't come without problems. William Brown, a black man, was pew-pewed by the Marines. He asked them why they shot him, and they accused him of refusing to halt. William Brown was unalived. Another black man, Isaac Moses, reported Marines knocked him to the ground, bayoneted his leg, and stole $5 from him. Nonetheless, another 100 Marines were sent to the city to preserve the calm. Blacks were ordered off the streets, otherwise they would be arrested. Sailors were ordered in the waiting trucks to be taken back to the base. Others were held by the police station. By the early morning of May 11th, the Charleston riot was over. In Charleston, 49 men, most of them YT, were arraigned on numerous charges from rioting to unaliving. Others were arrested but never charged. 8 men were fined $50 each for carrying concealed pew-pewers. 2 black men and 1 white man were charged with inciting a riot, but all were acquitted. The rest, all YT men, were released after a judge gave them a stern talking to. The coroner's inquest found that Isaac Doctor was unalived by a pew-pewer projectile to the chest by unknown enlisted men during a riot. The unaliving of another black man, James Talbert, was caused by a party or parties unknown. In a rare turn of events, the city compensated black business owners for damages done during the riot. As for the military justice, the 3 sailors charged with unaliving Isaac Doctor were court-martialed. Coleman, who begged to be put in jail, was acquitted. Cohan and Holiday, arrested by Police Chief Black, were sentenced to 1 year at a naval prison for taking the spirit of a black man, then dishonorably discharged. Several other sailors received lesser punishments. Several victims petitioned the city and the Navy for compensation, but were denied. One victim, Moses Gladden, hired a lawyer to file a claim for injuries. The city denied his and several other claims, including one for the crippling of a 13-year-old boy. The Navy rejected them, arguing no sailors were convicted of crimes against these individuals, so the Navy was not responsible for their injuries. Cyril Burton, the bricklayer beaten by sailors, claimed damages for $225 for lost wages and injuries. He also wanted $25 in cash stolen by the sailors. The city forwarded this bill to the Navy. After 2 years, the Navy agreed to repay Burton $25. News reports stated all witnesses agree that the Blue Jackets, the sailors, were after the Negroes only, because no YT civilians were harmed. Most accounts blamed the blacks for starting the trouble. Please like, subscribe, follow, and share, because sharing is caring. And together, we can not only learn, but we can also educate others. I love you. Peace.